To complete the registration process, there are many forms to complete. If you are doing this registration from home, you will only need to fill in the blanks, print the document, and then sign with a pen. In this video, we will go over each form in detail, so feel free to pause or rewind the video as you are completing the forms. Let's get started. This form is the Privacy and Student Consent form. Again, if you are doing this registration from home, you will only need to fill in the blanks, print the document, and then sign with a pen. Please use a pen for this form. Tracking this data allows us further funding to provide more programs for students. We are required by the California Educational Code to keep your Social Security number confidential and private. Therefore, we do not release this information to any third parties. By selecting Yes and writing your Social Security number, you are allowing Sutter County Adult Education to track your educational and employment progress after you leave our programs. We use this information for data collection and funding purposes. This will provide us feedback on our students after completing career training or educational courses. If you do not consent to this, please check the No box and do not write in your Social Security number. After choosing Yes or No, please sign on the bottom line. This is the photography release form. Please use a pen for this form. After you clearly write your name on the top line, you must choose to either give consent or to not give consent by checking one of the boxes. This form reads as follows: I, your name, hereby give consent or do not give consent that the photographs taken of me, negatives or prints, and or motion pictures, or any reproduction of the same, may be used by Sutter County Adult Education or by others with the consent of Sutter County Adult Education for purposes of illustration, publication, or marketing of programs and services. I hereby also grant permission to use my name in connection with any and all such photographs and or stories. We may use the photographs or videos in our course catalogs, website, or other products in order to promote our programs. Please complete the 4 lines below. This is the Health and Safety Code as it relates to the use of marijuana. Please use a pen for this form. The consumption or use of marijuana on or around school property is strictly prohibited by law. Students who consume or use marijuana in or around school will be dropped from the program immediately. Additionally, students who attend classes while under the influence will be asked to leave and will be placed on a behavioral contract. If there are further marijuana-related infractions, the student will be dropped from the program. To avoid awkward situations, students are advised to not wear contaminated clothing to school. By signing this form, you understand that if you are seen or reported smoking on or near school property, you will be dropped from your program or class effective immediately. This is the Internet Acceptable Use form. Please use a pen for this form, or if you are doing this registration from home, you will only need to fill in the blanks, print the document, and then sign with a pen. There is a lot here, so let's go over this together. To summarize this form, students must read and agree to abide by the rules when using the Internet or any other technology-related equipment owned by Sutter County Adult Education. Students under age 18 must have written parental permission before being given access to school computers or laptops. Sutter County Adult Education will offer you a connection to the Internet, but only through a school computer or laptop. There is no public Wi-Fi access at the school, and therefore cell phones, personal laptops, or other electronic devices will not be given access to Wi-Fi. The Internet access given to you will be used in a responsible, efficient, ethical, and legal manner and must be in support of educational objectives only. Be advised that your use is monitored and subject to federal and state laws. Unacceptable uses include, but are not limited to the following: A. Violating copyright laws. B. Forwarding personal communications without the author's prior consent. C. Using threatening or obscene material. D. Distributing material protected by trade secret. E. Utilizing Internet for commercial purposes. Or F. Providing political or campaign information. Students are expected to display proper netiquette rules. These rules include, but are not limited to the following: A. Be polite. Rudeness is never acceptable. B. Use appropriate language. Do not swear, use vulgarities, or other abusive or inappropriate language. C. Do not reveal personal addresses or phone numbers. D. Do not disrupt the use of the network. E. Assume that all communication and information accessible via the network is private property. The use of Sutter County Adult Education Internet is a privilege, not a right. Inappropriate use will result in limitation or cancellation of user privileges and possible disciplinary actions. Attempts to tamper with or access the system as any other user or to share a password will result in cancellation of user privileges. Electronic mail is not guaranteed to be private. System operations have access to all mail. Messages relating to or in support of illegal activities may be reported to the authorities, and disciplinary action will follow. Users have no expectation of privacy with using the Sutter County Adult Education Internet. All information is subject to examination without notice. Vandalism results in the cancellation of user privileges and disciplinary action. Vandalism is defined as any malicious attempt to harm or destroy equipment and/or data of anyone connected to the Internet. This includes, but is not limited to, uploading, creating, or transmitting computer viruses. Installation of software other than that used by Sutter County Adult Education is prohibited. Students must sign the acceptable use policy below. A parent or guardian must also sign the acceptable use policy on behalf of students under the age 18. Please complete the form by filling in the blank with your name, sign on the line, include your student ID number provided to you, and date the form. This form is the Classroom Guidelines and Code of Conduct form. Please use a pen to complete this form. As you read and understand each rule, simply initial on the line indicating that you agree to abide by the policies. Let's go through them together. Attendance and productivity policy. Adhering to the attendance policy is mandatory. Students are required to maintain a minimum of 85% attendance and may be dropped after 2 consecutive absences if there is no communication with the teacher. It is required that students call if they're going to be late or absent. Your teacher will give you specific contact information when you start class. Measurable productivity is required in order to be successful and remain in our program. Students will be required to earn a minimum number of credits per week. Class procedures and conduct. Students are expected to arrive to class on time and remain in the classroom for the entire class period. Clothing, jewelry, and personal items such as backpacks, fanny packs, gym bags, water bottles, etc., shall be free of any images or writing which may be interpreted as crude, sexually suggestive, advertise or promote a drug, alcohol, or tobacco product, or which may advocate a racial or religious prejudice or implies gang affiliation. Clothing must be modest when sitting or standing and adequately cover undergarments at all times. Students are expected to maintain a level of respect for everyone while in the classroom, and therefore, inappropriate language or behavior is not tolerated. Cell phones may be used to listen to music, but should not be used for any other purpose in class. iPods, iPads, laptops, and other electronic devices from home are not allowed to be used in the classroom. The teacher will provide classroom computers and laptops to be made available for use by students during class time when appropriate. Beverages such as water and juice are allowed as long as they come in containers with lids and are stored away from the computers. No food or gum is allowed in the classroom. Smoking or possession of tobacco products, drugs, alcohol, and weapons are prohibited at any time in Sutter County Superintendent of Schools owned or leased buildings, on Sutter County Superintendent of Schools property, and in Sutter County Superintendent of Schools vehicles. Possession and/or the use of these items or products will result in disciplinary action and may include suspension or expulsion from the program. Harassment in any instance will not be tolerated. If any student believes that he or she is being harassed, that student should notify the classroom teacher in writing before the end of that class period so that it may be addressed. Students are required to bring their own class supplies with them. This includes a notebook, pens, and pencils. Instructions for assignments are given to the students at the time when they are provided their book assignment. A student who displays unethical behavior and/or is involved in any other activity for the purpose of cheating, altering, removing, or copying any materials shall receive a letter grade of F for that assignment or exam and may also be suspended or dropped from the Sutter County Adult Education Program. Visitors, including all children, family, and friends, are not allowed in the classroom during class sessions. Students are responsible to maintain a clean and safe workspace. We want to celebrate our students' success by taking photographs and sharing them through social media and marketing materials. Therefore, you will need to indicate if you do not want to be photographed when relevant. I have read and understand the rules and regulations described above and hereby agree to abide by them. Lastly, clearly print and sign your name and add the date. This is the authorization for release of confidential information form. Please use a pen to complete this form. You would use this form to designate emergency contacts, such as parents, spouse, or adult children. This allows us to contact someone in case of an emergency. Likewise, if the persons listed were to call the school requesting information about you or your schoolwork, we would be able to speak to them. Simply fill in all the blanks as needed on this form. If you are doing this registration from home, you have now completed all the registration forms available online. Please bring in your printed and completed forms to the school site. There, you'll complete one more form and take the CASAS assessment, which takes about 2 hours. If you are already at school, let's continue with the last enrollment form called TOPS. This is the Tracking of Program Students form, or TOPS for short. This is the only form that must be completed in pencil. Please write clearly and completely fill in the bubbles. This form is read by a computer and there are lots of boxes to complete. Let's get started. On line 1A, clearly print your last name, first name, and middle initial. Then clearly write your phone number including area code. Indicate by filling in the bubble if the number is a cell phone. On line 1B, clearly print your mailing address, city, state, and zip code. On line 1C, clearly print your email address. If you do not have an email, leave it blank. For part 2, the instructor's name. Leave that blank for now. For box 3, write in your student ID number provided to you at the beginning of this orientation. Then fill in the corresponding bubbles, one for each number. Below the number bubbles, you are asked 3 questions. Is this your social security number? You should fill in the bubble that says no. For state student ID, you should also fill in no. The third question asks, is informed consent signed and granted? This relates to the pink privacy form at the beginning of this video. If you gave us consent, fill in the yes bubble or no if you didn't. In box 4, fill in the bubble with the gender you identify with, male or female. In box 5, write in your date of birth on the top row using numbers, and then fill in the corresponding bubbles below. In box 6, write in the highest year of school you have completed. Don't forget the 0 if it's less than 10. For example, if at most you have completed 8th grade, write 08 and then fill in the bubbles. Here's another example. If you completed 2 years of high school, that means you completed the 10th grade. So you should enter the number 10 for the total number of years you completed. At the bottom of the box, please indicate if the majority of your schooling was completed outside of the United States by filling in the bubble. If most of your schooling was done here, leave it blank. In box 7, choose one option that best applies to you. What is the highest level of education you have earned? High school equivalency certificate, a high school diploma, a technical certificate, some college but no degree, an Associate of Arts or Science degree, a 4-year college graduate, or higher than a bachelor's degree. If none of these apply, then choose the None option at the top of the list. Also, if any of these do apply to you, indicate if you earned them outside of the United States by filling in the circle in the bottom of the box. Box 8A asks you to identify which ethnicity you identify with. You must choose only one in box 8A, either Hispanic or Latino, or not Hispanic or Latino. Box 8B asks you to choose one or more categories that apply to you about race: white, Asian, Black or African American, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, Filipino, American Indian, or Alaska Native. If none apply, then leave these blank. Box 9 asks you to choose only one category for your native language: English, Spanish, Chinese, Tagalog, Vietnamese, Cambodian, Korean, Hmong, Arabic, Russian, Farsi, Somali, or choose Other and write in the name of your native language. Box 10 asks for the date of entry into this program. Please write in today's date. In the top row, use numbers, and then fill in the corresponding bubbles below. Box 11 asks you which instructional program offered by Sutter County Adult Education that you wish to enroll into. Choose only one category: Basic Skills or Adult Basic Education, English as a Second Language or English Language Learner, Citizenship, High School Diploma, High School Equivalency Certificate such as HiSET or GED, Career and Technical Education, Workforce Readiness, Adults with Disabilities, Pre-Apprenticeship, or Adults Supporting K-12 Student Success. Box 12 asks you to choose a primary and secondary goal that you feel you can try for within 1 year. On the left column, choose a primary goal, and in the right column, choose a secondary goal. Choose only one goal for each column. You may improve basic skills, improve English skills, earn a high school diploma or equivalency certificate such as the HiSET or GED, get a job, retain your job, get a better job, enter college or work training program, complete a work-based project, complete a family goal, earn your U.S. citizenship, enter the military, or complete a personal goal. If you have another goal not listed, bubble and write it in on the bottom. If you do not have a secondary goal, fill in the None bubble. Box 13 asks if any special programs apply to you. Fill in all that may apply. If none of these options apply, choose none. You may choose English Language Civics, Jail, Community Corrections, State Corrections, Homeless Program, Family Literacy, Workplace Education, Tutoring, Distance Learning, Special Needs, Alternative Education grades K through 12, Non-Traditional Training, Older Adults, or Carl Perkins Funding. In Box 14, you are asked if any of the following choices have been or may present a barrier to you in gaining employment. Choose all that apply or leave blank if none apply. You may choose cultural barriers, disabled, displaced homemaker, English language learner, ex-offender, foster care youth, homeless, long-term unemployed, low income, low levels of literacy, migrant farm worker, seasonal farm worker, single parent, or if you've not received tribal temporary assistance for needy families within the last 2 years. For Box 15, this is for a specific course number. Leave this box blank and we can fill it in later. Box 16 asks you about your personal status. Mark all the choices that apply or leave them blank if not. WIOA stands for Workforce Investment Opportunity Act. Title I applies if you are receiving employment services through One Stop. Go ahead and mark this option, as all students will be receiving services of some form during their enrollment at Sutter County Adult Education. If you are receiving unemployment benefits, choose WIOA Title III. If you are receiving services through the Department of Rehabilitation, choose WIOA Title IV. TANF stands for Tribal Temporary Assistance for Needy Families. If you are receiving other public assistance such as welfare, please choose this option. If you are concurrently enrolled in a high school while attending our school, choose this option. Choose this option if you are a dislocated worker. If you are a veteran, we thank you for your service and choose this option. If you are receiving any other assistance not listed, please choose Other. In Box 17, please choose one option that best describes your employment status. Unemployed, employed, employed but are about to be laid off or dismissed, or if you're not looking for work or are retired, choose Not in the Labor Force. Leave Box 18 blank for now. This will be filled in by staff later. Please leave Box 19 blank as this is for office use only. Please turn over the TOPS form to the back side or green side. This portion will be completed later as you complete or leave the program. On line 1A, please clearly write your last name, first name, and middle initial. Also, include your phone number. On line 1B, please clearly write in your mailing address, city, state, and zip code. Leave line 2, the instructor's name, blank. This will be written in later. For Box 3, write in your student ID number on the top row provided to you at the beginning of this orientation. Then fill in the corresponding bubbles below, one for each number. This completes the paperwork portion of your enrollment. Congratulations! The next step is to take the CASAS assessments.